you know, editing as far as what's in behind me. So I can not only have this picture, but I can also have any other picture that I download. I figured I'd be in the Hall of Justice today.
Mm-hmm.
Like Wonder Woman. So, oh, did we lose somebody? So how was your week with Adobe Illustrator?
I got a lot of stuff done, but for some reason this morning I lost my cloud. I didn't lose it, but I just haven't figured out how to bring it back because I was putting stuff in the cloud. So if I could, I don't know how I'm supposed to submit it to you. If it should be an email or you just want to look at it here on the screen.
I can do either one or both.
Yeah, because I can't pull up my cloud. I was going to show it to you on my tablet, but I can't get this. Anyway, I have technical problems.
As do most of us. Every day is a different day. You know, we tend to, you know, it depends on what day it is. Like the other day, and my class will probably be really heartbroken and upset with me that I thought I was recording, but I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
You know, so.
Last week?
You got the link for last week's class, right?
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we did.
Okay. I think it was the graphic class that I.
Oh, okay.
No. It wasn't the graphic class. It was the color class, and they gonna be real heartbroken because we did a virtual tour. We went to the Guggenheim website and scrolled down, you know, through their virtual tour, and it was kind of interesting because it actually, you know, you got to scroll like Google Maps. So you got to go through their stuff, and we looked at some artwork for their color class, and it was real fun. I think they liked it. I don't know. They acted like they did. I don't want to have to repeat what I did do. I hope cancel. For some reason I'm recording. I see I'm recording. I don't want to not record, but what I did was I looked online and I tried to find an alternate program for you, and as soon as
Yeah, I can share the screen, so I'm just gonna do this too.
Now you did this in Illustrator?
Okay. Adobe Illustrator.
All right.
You see, that was I actually went through some tutorials. That's the croaky, and that's the croaky in a dress right there with the hair and stuff. Same.
Oh, look at you.
And I started on some other things, but I did some tutorials on because I have to learn how to.
Yeah.
Some other things I have.
I like the pants. I like the what is that? The halter.
Okay, the halter
I like
top.
the halter top. I don't know about, okay. Can everybody see what she's doing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, what concerns me is
Yeah.
the arm.
Okay.
I like the hair. I don't know about the eyes. You didn't get your book from from our last class about drawing eyes, right? Or drawing eyes and lips. Them lips are really
Well, um, no, I was really just practicing the different techniques when I did this, and trying to stay within your, assignments and whatnot. This is
right.
incomplete, but I have to get a little more organized. Yeah, I was just trying to get the techniques down. When
Okay.
the first day I copied and pasted the first day just like that. And it took me 2 days to figure out how I had done that.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Now, granted, the program that I found, I'm not thoroughly comfortable with it because it's not my normal program of choice. So I'm learning that one just like you are. And what I did was I found a few vector-based programs, and the one that seemed to be the best out of the few that were free was one called Vector. And let's see, or screen share. Okay, you see my online? Yeah, I'm gonna go Safari. Okay, so the program that I found before is Vector, VECTR.com. Oops, wait a minute. It doesn't work in Safari. I have to go to Google or Chrome. Uh, R.com. Uh-oh. There's something up with my computer. Okay, so it seems to be something up with Vector.
It's vector.com.
Yeah, but I don't want to. it doesn't look like it's coming up correctly. Hold on. Oops.
Abir, did the baby come yet?
No, still
No?
12 days.
Okay.
How many days?
12
Woo!
soon.
That is soon. Okay, so Vector looks like it's not going to work for me today. Because the page isn't coming up right. That is just wonderful. And that is a daily okay. Wcccd based program free. Okay, so the other one that I had researched was Inkscape. You would have to download it. Oh, great.
Is this like Adobe, or this is where we can
It
get
should be
templates?
like Adobe. All right, so we're gonna save this. So this is now downloading to my website or my page. That's telling you I have too many programs. Adobe, Inkscape. The reason why I liked Vector was because you did not have to download it onto your computer. You could just use it from the online platform. But we're going to download Inkscape. So this is what you would probably have to do. Okay, so So I have some issues downloading that. That's not going to help me. Okay, so I don't want to keep downloading programs, and I hope that they don't and they don't work because they're from unknown developers. Uh, this is Krita. There's Inkscape. There's Vector. Oops. And it is almost downloaded.
Are these free?
These are free.
Oh, okay.
And that's probably why my machine probably is not happy with it.
Mm.
Okay, it's still installing. Okay, so it's now on. This looks like it's opening.
So this is just in case we can't use Adobe, right?
Right.
Okay.
You know, some students need a free program. I was hoping to be able to use Vector because we have a couple of students that don't have access to a computer. So Vector would have been a better option for them. I don't know. It was working on Wednesday. I don't know why it's not working today. It doesn't like me or something. Let's see if I could try it again. But I tried 2 different browsers and it doesn't seem to be. Yeah, it's something up with the website. And it seems like it's still opening. but it seems to have, oh, okay. Oh, good. Okay. So this is Krita. And I always usually start a page at a normal page size. And my resolution usually, if I'm doing printed pieces or any pieces, I try to do it at 300 starting. Oh, it would have had the actual US letter. Okay.
That's for any program though, right? The resolution 300.
Well, if you're doing web-based or graphics for the internet, you can go as low as 72, but I like to start at 300 because it gives you a better clarity. If you use 72, then your pictures can be rasterized. That's meaning that there's a dot pattern to the picture. And then what'll happen is it'll look blurry. So say, for example, you wanted to do retouching. And let me just give you an example. So in order to see it fully, I'm gonna go to Photoshop and I'm gonna open a new document. Okay, so (8.5) tab 11. Oops. Okay, so if this is a regular, oops, what happened? No. Okay, so this is a regular size sheet of paper, right? So say, for example, I go to the internet and I'm gonna look up person smiling. Okay, so what happens is most people will go to the internet and they'll find a picture on the internet and they'll say, "Oh, this is a nice picture. I'm gonna use it," right? And then they just grab it and they blow it up. The picture will then, if you put it on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, it could look as bad as this. If you blow something up just from the internet. Now, granted, what happens is the clarity isn't there. Do you see that?
Mhm.
I can blow it up even larger. And you see it looks like she's got some kind of problem with her face.
Yeah.
Now, if you were just going to use that for a template to draw from, then that's fine. But if you were going to actually use that as a photograph, then that's not fine. Now, if I were to actually, tools, if I were to actually get a picture the correct way, which is what I did was I used my tools in Google. I used tools and then labeled for reuse with modification. So that means you can use that without getting retribution by somebody trying to sue you. Okay, so I'm gonna grab one of these pictures and show you the difference. So I'm gonna go to this place and then I'm gonna go download photo for free. And they'll say what kind of picture you want. And I'm say high quality. Now, you see the difference? I put it on the same paper. You see how clear her picture is?
Yes.
As opposed to the other picture from the internet. This is 300 DPI picture. So there's a big difference in the clarity of a picture that you download as a high resolution image as opposed to something that if you were just getting it off the internet. Now, Cassandra, when you're doing your faces, you can literally take a face that you like and utilize that as a guide in Illustrator. Oops. Or in one of the vector-based programs. And I'm gonna go back to the other program in a second. I'm gonna use the program I'm familiar with. Okay. Photoshop. So say for example, you like that picture of this girl. I'm gonna drag her. And I'm just dragging her into Illustrator. And I'm doing a new layer. And so you could utilize the picture of the girl as a guide to being able to draw a face.
Okay.
So, oops, wait a minute. I'm in the wrong program. Hold on. Get rid of that. So you would then go in and start drawing the characteristics of her face. For your drawing. And you don't have to be perfect with it.
Professor.
Huh?
So I'm having an issue closing my, like when I'm drawing, like closing it off. Like,
Okay. Let's see.
like the pen tool. I mean the other tool, the curvation tool.
Okay. So if you're having a problem closing it, okay. If you're drawing something, for example, if I'm drawing her eye, you see where I start?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm starting, I'm going around,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I get to when I want to finish it,
Mm-hmm.
I go and it'll make, you see how it's got that little plus sign by it?
Barely. Yeah. A little bit.
Okay. So I'm gonna blow it up a little bit more. Hold on.
Yeah, cause shoot my phone.
Okay. So if it's not closed, like say for example this,
Mm-hmm.
you have this, and you see it's like that, you know it needs to be closed off. So what you're gonna do is see how this
Mm-hmm.
has a little star by it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna just click on it and then finish
Mm.
the eyelid. Now,
Wait, which I think I'm using the wrong tool there.
it's the pen tool over here.
I don't
And
know.
then when I get to the finish line, I can't just do like that because it's not finished. You see how it's not finished? And
Yeah.
that'll make a difference like later on. Because a lot of people will just do it like that and then they say, oh, it's done, but it's not. So I'm gonna go back into it. And you see how it's like that? You can still draw your curve. And then when you get to the finish line, it turns into a little zero.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You see how it turns into a
Well,
zero?
on the
Yeah,
Apple
yeah,
computer,
yeah.
we used to be able to push command what?
What?
Then we could use like command or could we enter or something? Something we could do on that computer that command something or
To make that zero close.
yeah, I remember.
I'm not familiar with that tool.
That was in
Can
CAD.
I share my screen real
That was
quick?
in CAD.
Sure.
Oh, you cannot share. Why somebody else sharing? Right? Oh, you sharing?
Let's see. How do I not share? Hold on. But I mean, in Illustrator, let's see. Man, is it?
I was very frustrated.
That's okay. It's okay to be frustrated. Okay, so if I had that, and then let's see. Let me get you back to Zoom. Hold on. Why is it? Do I have Zoom open twice? Okay. Stop share.
Uh-oh, what
Okay,
did I
now you
do?
can share. You want to share?
Yeah, I'm doing it now.
Okay.
First of all, I'm using the wrong tool, right? See how I'm trying to close right?
Oh, all those bubbles.
No, that's the bubbles are fine.
You see this?
Uh-huh.
Why won't it stop?
Okay, put it on the pen tool. Now do it. But see,
I gotta redraw it with the pencil, right?
well, here's the deal. I know your initial thing is to want to draw the whole thing.
In
I
one
mean, you can use
layer.
that other tool, but that is actually a new tool. So I'm not as familiar with it as the pen tool. That's like a shortcut tool. But here's the deal. In drawing your figure, I know your initial instinct is wanting to go all the way around the figure.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going all the way around the figure, what you want to do is do the head
Right.
on one, the neck and the neck part on the other.
Okay.
The arm on one, the other arm
Okay.
on two, the torso on on the next one. So each
Okay.
one should have its own piece.
Okay. All right, how do I unshare? Oh, stop there. Okay.
Okay. So let's see, where was I? Okay, so yes, we're going to desktop share. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Okay, so here's the deal. You wanted to do a close. Okay, I'm in that tool that you were doing.
Don't do it. I forgot which one I was supposed to be using. So I can use the other one. I forgot. No wonder it was so easy for me. I was like, oh.
Well, I don't like it.
I was like, I'm back. It was more, I'll go back with the pen tool.
But you can go back with it and then and do it that way. But here's the deal. It still gives the same results. So you want to go until it goes to that circle instead of the star. The star is like right here. That's where you're starting.
So I have to go back to where to end it, I have to go back to where I started. Like it has to be like a complete, like, entity. You know what I mean?
Yes, it has to be like a complete, you have to think of each one of these as a cut piece of paper.
Got you. Okay. I'm good.
Okay. So when you're doing something like eyes, like you can overlap stuff.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that too.
So no, I mean, literally I could do my eye if I wanted to make a eye. You have to think about which is the bottommost part of your eye. Okay, so the bottommost part of your would be the eyeball, right? So you'd have the eyeball, and then you would have the iris, right? Okay, and then you would have, I could do like little shadows, all right? Then what comes over the eye is literally, I mean, and this is getting pretty detailed with it, but your eyelid comes over your eye. You see that eyelid?
Mm-hmm.
And then on the bottom part, you have your lower lid. So your lower lid would come like here. Okay, so this seems like a whole lot of shapes right now. Oh, I forgot. We have this shape. Okay, so I'm gonna go here and here. The object, arrange, bring the front. Okay, so it seems like a whole lot of shapes until you start doing your coloring. What happened? Okay. So go window, you go your swatch libraries, you can go down to skin tones, right? And here's your skin tones. And so these things right here, this circle right here would be white. And we're gonna flip it. Object arrange, send it back. Okay. That object would be white. This object would be filled with, let's say, I'm gonna make it green so you can see it. Okay. So then, and if stuff starts getting in the way, I'm gonna lock the selection. Then this could be, right? And this would be, and at that point, oops, once you have these colored, unless you wanted her to have, oops, let's see. And you know, depending on how much I want to do, object, unlock all. Okay. All right, so that's the green. Object, lock, selection. Okay, there it is. And so at that point, I could change my opacity. So then you see how it starts looking like a real eye? And if you wanted to go back through,
Bless you.
I'm not gonna get real detailed with it. But if you wanted to go back through and
Well, how do you make the eyelashes so you don't do that?
That's what I was about to do. So, go new layer. Okay. You could generalize them like that. Or what I would refrain from doing is drawing each eyelash, because then it then looks fake. You know, you can do something that would be similar to that. Oops, and I didn't get the end there. And then if it doesn't fit exactly, that's when you go back in with your direct selections tool and you can change it to make it fit. But see, if this doesn't have enough, you can then go back and draw another shape on the top that gives it a little bit more definition. So now you see how that starts looking more and more like an actual eye. And you see, that's what I did to create an eye. And then once you start getting used to drawing with Illustrator, you can then, so I don't have to draw it exactly where her hair is. I could draw the actual where her head is, which is up here, right? And then I get a little bit more detail. And I don't have to be as detailed right here because I know she's gonna have hair on top, all right? So this would be layer, head. And then I'd put that on the head and then I could put it down there. And I could then make another new layer and go hair. And I could then draw her hair because I know it's going on top of the head. Now I'm just drawing her hairstyle. And it doesn't even have to be, it could be. And I'm not gonna get real detailed with it, but I could. Now see, I can, if I drew the actual shape of her face, it would be on top of that. But then I could go File, Effect, and I went to roughen, and then I go preview. And so now she's got crazy hair. So we're gonna do that. Oops, no, that's too much. And I'm going to go like that. And then, so at that point, I can lock the hair down. I got her face. I don't remember what color it was, but. So you see how you can start creating your own look and style? And then you would just keep adding to it. And this way, if I didn't want to be bothered with accidentally clicking on something else, I could do that, you know. So now see this, if it keeps going, it's not a completed shape. You gotta wait till you do that. Is there somebody else? It's not completed. It's completed now. And then, so I have two pieces. So what goes behind? And because I know it's behind, it doesn't have to be exactly the right shape. So I go arrange, send to back. And then at that point, I can look at how it looks with all of the rest of the stuff. Now, oops. Now I know that her lip doesn't look exactly right. So then I go in, blow it up, and I can then change where her lips are. Now, notice that this is kind of pointy on the end. You see? You can go into your stroke and click on it. And you see how it's like capped like that? You can change it to a round cap. In the corner, you can smooth that out so that it's not as pointy. Okay, so I'm gonna do that again. Go to the stroke, and I'm smoothing it out. Now, you see how when I drew the lips, one piece is smooth and one's a corner? I can go back with my tool or my pen tool and I click on it. See, I click on it, and when either it's gonna go minus, or, oops, I can click in my pen tool and go to the anchor point tool and click on it and smooth it out. And make it a smoother line. And then I start just changing it to fit my drawing. I'll go here, smooth that out. And then go here, because I don't want her to have lopsided lips. And oops. And change it out to the mouth I want it to be. So now she's looking more like, now right here, you know, where we have that eyelash, I noticed that that's when you can start changing stuff and, you know, giving her eyeshadow and stuff like that. You know. And I'm gonna go back to my layers. Window, layers. And I'm gonna lock the mouth. I'm gonna unlock these right here. And that's when, you know, you can go through and add colors to it and mess around with your, this right here is your transparency. So I can overlay colors so she can have eyeshadow. And if I have put the eyelashes on a different layer, I can make it like go on to the underneath the eyelashes. But I can also give these a line. I can,
Please?
huh?
What happened?
Or I can make these darker colors depending on what skin tone I wanted her to have. So that gives her, or if you didn't want these to show, you would just go, oops.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hey.
All right, I think I lost. I lost y'all for a minute. Okay, so what I did was I just got rid of it so you could see the eye that I did. It's still there. I can't remember if your eyelid is darker. Oops. but you can also have it so that that eyelid is showing. So that's getting into more detailed work with an eye. But as you can see, you start with the bottommost image. The bottommost image or the bottommost thing for your eye is that white area. And then you start laying things on top of it. So it's like once again, like cut paper. You're layering each thing on top of something else. So if I were to draw, oops, am I losing you guys? If I were to draw the hands, then my hands would go on top of everything else. And so I could turn all of these off. Oops, don't want to turn that off. But I could then go onto the hands layer. And draw my hand. And I'm not gonna get detailed with it. But my hand would be on top of everything else. And so that is the next layer. So it's covering up what's underneath it. So whatever you draw that's underneath it is not really gonna matter what shape it is if this is on top. And so if I just wanted to feel a little lazy, I could do a reflect, preview, copy, and put it on the other side. And that way, that's good. Now, once I've done this eye, if I'm really, really being lazy, I could say, I don't like this eye right here, but I do like this one. So I could, and I'm gonna lock these two things down. I'm gonna lock the mouth down. I'm gonna lock the hair down. So I could take this part and say either copy, or I could do a reflection and copy. Get my pointer tool. Uh-oh, I forgot to do the, something's not unlocked. Oh, object.
You have to do the nose.
Yeah. So I haven't drawn the nose yet.
Oh.
Copy. And so now I'm taking a lot of liberties in drawing my, oops. So this is the nose. You have to pick and choose how you want to draw the nose. and how detailed you want to get with the nose. Actually, the nose is like 3 balls in a line. So literally, you're gonna draw one here, and then there's one there. And one there. So this is basically what the format of the nose is. You know, kind of phallic, but you can draw it like that, or if I'm staying true to my drawing, I can just draw something very simple. Oops. And I'm not perfect right now. And those two. Oops, I want those one to go. So that's basically, I'm gonna unlock all of this. Um, and that's giving you a basic of how I would do a tracing. And now that becomes your illustration. And you can then put it on any of, you could save it and say, this is one of your heads. And you can use it for any of your other drawings. And so basically, this could be a template for your head if you wanted it to be detailed. If not, you could take some of the things away or add things to it. Any questions? Everybody's so quiet.
I have questions when I'm doing this on my own. I'm gonna have questions in the middle of the week. That's when
Well, you can always, call and say, Miss Carr, can we do, are you available for, I have a question.
Hey,
Okay, so I'm gonna save this.
looks so great and so easy. What while you're doing it and watching it, but
and I know you're saying, how the heck did she do that in less than, this amount
yeah,
of
and
time?
then also like I think with the trial period, they only allow you so much access to certain tools, certain things. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and spend the money. I think it's $20 a month or something.
Yeah.
For the rest of this month. So I can't, because like I said, like some of the tools aren't accessible. I think like the rectangle thing is not, I can't.
I think it might not be set up right.
See what I'm saying? I checked the toolbox. I checked it, and it's not even highlighted to be able to add it on there. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
And
Rectangle.
I'm not exactly sure if they'll let you use it for a month.
No, it's only 1 week.
I gotta keep paying like it annually.
Yeah, it's just 1 week.
Sure.
Mine ended last week.
Okay, so for those of you who were not here, what I did was I downloaded another program, and it's called Critter. It's free. Now there was another program that was called Vector, but for some reason it does not want to load correctly today. Yeah, it's not loading correctly. So what I did was I went to Critter, or I looked up free vector programs. This is on critter.org, KRITA, and I downloaded it. Okay, Vector was one that I was hoping that the people who do not have computers would be able to use, because you don't have to download that onto your computer. It was working earlier this week, but doesn't seem to be working right now. So we can try it later. I haven't used this program, but look, it's got a lot of the tools that we had in the other program. So let's try it out. Let's see. I have this picture here, which is on, I'm gonna lock everything else. And then give my picture. I'm gonna grab it. And let's see. We're gonna, oops. I'm gonna hit Command C.
Now, does that close it?
No, that copies it.
Copy on.
Okay. And then I'm gonna hit Command V. And it's okay, it's not gonna do that. Let's try it this way. File. Okay. It seems to have vector tools. Look at there. There's vector tools. What do you know? And
I'm still looking at your Adobe screen though.
you're still seeing Adobe? You're not seeing Critter? This is Critter.
No.
This right here. Is it moving around?
Okay, that's Critter.
This is Critter.
Okay.
So Critter has some of the same tools. It has brush tools. It has vector tools.
Is this Critter that you're using right now?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it says Adobe Illustrator, and I don't see the.
Where?
Up at the top.
Yeah, it's still the same picture that you just created, and it says Adobe Illustrator, and you're saying.
Okay. Sorry. Wait a minute. That's that thing on Zoom. Hold on. Let's see. Window. Window. Show meeting controls. Okay. Pause share. Stop share. Okay, so now you see me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then I'm gonna go share screen, desktop. Oh, it allowed me to only, okay. So now I'm gonna do Critter, share screen. Now, I'm in Critter. You see this?
Nope, now we're looking at you.
Oh, you're looking at me.
Yeah.
Share. Okay, now you see the
now.
screen?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Critter. This is Critter. So I'm in Critter, which is this tool only works on vector layers. Okay, so we go to layers. And I guess within the layers, normal, you can have different kind of layers. There is a tutorial in online where you can do window Critter, and there's tutorials on how to use Critter.
Oh, okay.
See, it's a professional, free, and open painting program. It is made by artists who want to see affordable art tools for everyone. Okay, so it's free, and you can download it. I downloaded it. It took about less than 10 minutes. Okay, and it works on Windows and Apple. Now, if they're able to do stuff like this on it, then it should be an okay tool. I'm not exactly sure how to use the vector layer. Normal, addition, darken. So these are all the layer controls, and then you have channels. So this seems to be a mixture of Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop together. So it has different pen tools down here, pen and pencil tools. And you're able to look up different ways to draw with this. So, all right, normal. layers, layer. Okay, new. So you can go new paint layer. And file, new. Oh, okay. You can create from clipboards, you can do an animation, you can do design and textures on your cancel. So this would be another option to try to utilize. It has the vectors, so it will give you practice at doing all your vector drawings.
It has your favorite pen tool. That's all.
Yes, it has my pen tool on it. So there's different ways to, there's a different way to do this than Illustrator. So it's because it's got more tools in it for painting, but it still will give you practice on working with that tool. I just downloaded it, so I'm not able to give you a full workout on it, but I encourage you maybe to try it. To see. Now I know there's a couple of people that have completed their projects. What I'm doing is I'm grabbing a picture of all the participants so I can make sure I wrote it down. So any questions other than that?
Yes, I'm trying to download it, but it popped up like a lot of different software to download.
From Krita?
Yeah, no. Yes.
Oh, or from Adobe?
Krita. Unless I'm doing the wrong one.
I just said get Krita, K-R-I-T-A, get Krita now.
Okay.
It will be on the same website, and then you would just go where you hit Krita, and then there's a whole bunch of different stuff here. But mine's is gonna say Mac OS installer because that's what I'm on. But you also could go to the Windows Store and download it from Windows that way.
Okay, I see it.
Okay. Now, sometimes with programs like this, they may even be have more advancements for people who are using Windows rather than Mac, because you know there's just more people using the Windows platform. Okay. So I would say try that out and then go to YouTube and see if there it looked like on their website, they had a number of videos and user manuals, tutorials, you see? This is the user manual right here. And then they have tutorials and how to, and then you can go using all their tools. Bezier curves, there it is. So you might be able to do a little bit more with this, including animation. Okay, so you are having problems with your figure, right?
Yes, my computer was not allowing me to draw those.
Those figures?
Yes, I don't know what was wrong.
Now who's
It's
speaking?
coming
I
out
can't.
funny looking, like pencil work.
Huh?
It kept coming out like pencil work.
Okay, who's talking?
Delandra.
Okay. It kept looking like pencil work.
Yes.
Okay, so
Were you
were you,
using the
what were you saying?
I was just asking if she was using Critter or something different.
No, I was using Adobe, but my Adobe on my laptop looks so funny looking.
It doesn't look like this.
It do, but I don't know what I did wrong.
File, new window. Okay, so was this the one we were doing or no? Looks something like that. Okay, so I like this one. That one look good? Everybody like that one? No comment?
Yeah.
That looks good.
Okay, so I just dragged it in. I'm not too happy with it. Wait a minute. And I'm not seeing any that I like. Hold on. I thought I put one in my computer. Finder. desktop. Ah, there it is. Dun, dun, dun. I knew I had it. Okay. I'm back. I don't know what happened.
You didn't have a net or something?
Uh-oh. Hold on.
Cannot see you. Hello?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't think my computer is happy with me today. Okay, so this one was the one we were doing last week, right?
Last.
Yes.
Okay. So you're saying that your drawings are looking like pencil drawings?
Yeah, I don't know if I set it up right.
Okay, why? I
I
without
sent them to you. I don't know if you got them.
okay. Did you send them to me by phone?
No, email.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, who was I speaking with?
Shalandra.
All right, hold on. Did you send them to my AOL?
Let me see.
What's your email?
SDRAK. I sent them through the WCC.
Okay. Oops, not Webgate. All right. All right, ladies, let's take a look at her pieces. Okay. Can everybody still see my screen?
can see your screen, but I can't see your screen. I see you.
You see
Just
me?
you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking you guys are seeing my screen. Hold on. Share screen. You see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is your pieces.
That's
Yeah, they
pretty.
did not come out so great.
Well, this is the original. Okay, let's see what we got here. We got this one. This is the one you were trying. Okay. Oh, she
That
was
kind
having
Yeah,
of
a
I don't
bad
know what
day.
happened to the leg.
Uh,
well.
okay. This is oh my goodness, her breast. What happened?
You know what? It looks like
Mm,
she has the same problem that I do, which is the picture, the image is so small, and it's kind of hard for me to
right.
broaden
Yeah, I
it.
can't zoom in on my laptop.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do that for some reason, and so I'm tracing on very tiny from a tiny subject, and so that's part of the problem.
Yeah. Here's the deal. When you're doing these kind of the figure drawings,
Mm-hmm.
what you want to do, and just like it's, remember how I was just saying, cut paper.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you want to do is look at these in terms of shapes. Okay, so that's why when I pulled up the original, well, this one, like this one, you see the shapes?
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't draw the shapes. And so therefore, what you did was you gave the whole, you tried to draw the whole outline of the body as opposed to the shape. So
Oh.
if I were doing this, so I have this, I'm going to take your drawing and I'm going to move this out the way. So I'm taking her drawing and I'm holding down the shift key so it's uniform in size. Okay, so I'm gonna start, I'm gonna blow it up as much as I can. So even if you need to start blowing things up, you go view, and there's command plus and command minus. You see this? Zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out.
Are you doing something? Because I don't see where you. Oh, no.
Okay. Here's my. Do you see my mouse?
Yeah, I
I
can
see
see.
your note.
Okay. Hi. You see my mouse?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Go up to view. You see where it turned blue right up there?
Mm-hmm.
Then you go down and you see how it says zoom in,
Yeah.
zoom out.
Right.
So for those of you who are using smaller screens, you would need to use your zoom in and zoom out. Command plus and command minus. And so what I would do is I would start looking, each one of these circles is a muscle group. So if I were to add, so I'm gonna lock these 2 layers down. I'm gonna add a new layer. And I'll say body.
But this is not what Shalandra drew, is it?
No, this
Oh,
is this is what she was using as a template. Her drawing of this is this. Now, granted,
okay.
it's
Yeah,
good
yeah,
for a
yeah,
first
yeah.
try, but what she's missing is she drew the whole outline
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to drawing the shapes. So in Illustrator, you got to start thinking about the shapes. Now you can draw that whole outline, but instead of drawing the whole outline of the body,
Mhm.
what I would do is draw the shape. So I would start here. You see this?
Okay.
Right there. That's that muscle. So the next part of that arm would be here. You see?
Yeah.
So you can either draw up to the elbow, and what that would do is allow you for more flexibility in using this for other things. So I could do this, draw up to the elbow. You see that?
Yeah.
Then I'm drawing this muscle right here, which is a circle. I'm connecting
Okay.
it.
But
Then
did
I'm
this
drawing
circle is look,
this part. And so
Hello.
now I have the upper part of the arm.
Steph,
So
is
if
the
I were to
circles
paint
on
that,
her,
I'm gonna paint it. Hold on.
Stephanie?
Yes.
Is the circles that's in here, is that on her picture too?
No.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so when she drew it, here it is. This is what she was drawing. This is her drawing. Okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So what you were missing was you were going like this.
Yeah.
You were going click, 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 click. You know, I mean, you see how it's, so you're not using the curve part of that tool.
Mm.
Okay? So the only full shape that you have right here is the head, right?
Yeah.
But the rest of it is you're just tracing. You're not making the shape. So what I want you to do, and I know you may or may not have the program, but you can try it with the program that I just suggested to you, the Krita.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you're doing is, you see how I just made a shape? Even if I were to do the click, 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 for example, for somebody who does not know how to use the pen tool, what they're doing is they're going click, 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 click. You see how it's a square? It's straight lines.
Yeah.
Even if I were to do that, okay? So I went all the way around. I can still go back into my pen tool and use the anchor point tool, right? And I can go here and then I can just drag out, you see? And now that's making that round.
Oh.
So you can go through. Now, granted, it's gonna take longer than doing that in the beginning, but I could go through and make it and change it. So basically that gives you these little anchor points, and I can change the shape to make it look. more round. So now I'm rounding out things. You see that?
Yes.
So now my head is more round. So you could do that. Now, if you were, am I losing people or I'm getting?
No. It's
Oh, okay. So what I just did was I drew this part. The next part of it would be, once again, we're gonna go back to my pen tool. And you see, I could just do this part, which is another circle, kinda. And that is my forearm. And then I would do another part, which is now my hand. Oops.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a hand, a forearm, my bicep, now if I really wanted to be lazy about it, I could highlight all of that and go file, oops, not file. I could go to this reflection tool right here and I can go reflect, copy,
Mm.
and then move it to the other side. Whoop. See, that's a trick. That's a trick.
Mm. Mm.
So now I have both my arms done.
Yeah.
So if I could do that with my arms, I could also do that with my legs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then your next part would be to make sure you're drawing your torso, which is this. You could either do the upper part or the lower. So I'm going from here to here, right? Then it's from here to here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just gonna do this. You see, remember it's cut paper. So I can overlay. Then I go to the shoulder and then I go right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you see there's the circle, bam.
Right.
Okay, so now you have your torso with your neck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The next part would be the lower torso. So at that point, I'm going I'm gonna start in between the leg. And then I'm gonna go here, 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 and there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a pair of panties. All right. Then you have your legs. So that's your hips. You're gonna do your legs. You're gonna go right here. And then I gotta make a little curve there. Then I gotta make a little curve there. And see, you just keep going until it bends. So if this is not straight, it's gonna bend. So it's like there. And then I'm gonna go all the way down and make a little curve. Now I know this is an ending point, right? So I go in the middle. You see where it's a little caret or a little arrow? I click in it And now that ends that curve. So then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna start going until where it curves. And then I go like that. So I'm clicking and then I'm holding down the tool and stretching these out to make that curve. And then I'm back here, but you see that's got a little curve to it. So what you're gonna do is click, you're gonna hold down your mouse button and then you drag right there. So that is that upper thigh. Then you would just, you could even use a circle. Oops. To do this, you could just draw it like that. Bam.
Oh, okay.
So that's the kneecap. Okay, and I could also do that down here, which is the ankle, right? And now I need to draw the lower leg. So I'm gonna start right in the middle down here. I'll go here, and then I'm gonna go to where it curves. And then I go here, then I go to where it curves again, here. Then I go right here, and I curve it on out. Then I'm gonna do the other side. So I click, because I know I wanna stop that curve. Click there. Then I'm gonna go to where it starts curving, right about there. And then I start where it starts curving, right about there. And then I can go all the way down to the bottom. And it's curving just a little bit right there. Boom. So now, and it doesn't have to be exactly matching, it's your drawing. And so the bottom part is the shoe or the
Who's
foot.
talking?
So you got, oops, you got here to here, one here, one there, and close it out. Bam. Then I'm gonna do the same thing. One here, one there, one here, one here. Close it out. So you're drawing a series of shapes.
Okay.
Okay, so each one is a shape. And then this is just helping you learn what body part.
Who is that talking? Who's talking?
You know what? If you don't, hold on. Hold on. Now, I mean, you can put if you need to talk, just put on your mute button. So we don't have to, so we don't hear your conversation. Now, I want to keep it open so if people want to ask questions. Okay. So we have a lot of, there's shapes there. And then to get to the, what I'm doing is I'm gonna click and drag the whole body part. And then I go to the flip, the reflect tool, and I double click, and I'm gonna copy it this way. I go copy, and then I move it. Oh, okay, I gotta do that again. Copy, group. Uh-oh. Okay. So, and there it is. Boom.
Okay.
And so that way, when I look at my layers,
Oh wow.
there's my person. Okay.
Okay.
And so it's not perfect, but it gives you a shape to put your clothing on. And as you get better, you'll learn how to do, you know, make it everything smoother.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay,
A lot.
that's why your stuff is looking like you're drawing it, because you're not using the shapes. Okay? And so
Okay.
when you're creating, the body is the
Can't hear
first
you.
part. If you're
I'm about to
creating,
exit out and come back. I can't hear. I can't.
you
Yeah.
want me to mute everybody? I can mute everybody. I don't, you know.
What were you
But
saying about everybody?
no, I don't. I want you to be able to ask questions. That's why I didn't want to mute everybody. But basically, when you start drawing your clothes, it's going to be the same thing. It's like when you are cutting pieces for fabrics. So for every piece of the fabric is another piece. So say for example, you're drawing a top. So here on your first one. Okay. Right here. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. So you got one shape here, one shape here. So when you start drawing your clothes, start thinking of them as you were cutting out the fabric. Okay. So
Okay.
your first piece may be your just base piece of the clothes, right?
Well, it would be the sleeves would be separate, wouldn't it?
Right.
Okay.
Aha, she's getting it. So your first piece would be oops. The torso part, right? Then your next part would be your sleeves. So you can overlap a little bit. And so you finish that sleeve out. You got to finish it. There you go. So you got sleeves, right? Then your next piece would be what? Your collar, right? So and I'm just messing around. This is starting to give you more detail. So if you were drawing it, if this wasn't knit, then you would have to make your biases, right? So that's a line. Oops.
Yeah.
Oops. Got lost. So you see? So then you're starting to give detail to your piece. Oops, I did it again. Hold on. So now I'm starting to give detail to the piece. Then your next piece would be your skirt. But you know, you don't want to start your skirt down here, because where does your skirt? Your skirt really starts up here.
Okay.
Right? Your skirt would start underneath your waist. So maybe if I was here, so I know my skirt starts there. Okay, and then I'm gonna go object, arrange, send it back. Oops, I set that behind that. Oops. Object, arrange, send it back. Object, lock, selection. Okay, so now I don't have to worry about that. But I know that my skirt is here. It starts there. I may want a belt. You see? And so now you're starting to give your outfit more character. And so then you might say, oh, well, you know, I want, oops, I want a buckle, you know. So that way you're then saying, okay, I've drawn my shape underneath, but now I am starting to give it character. Okay, so you know, you start doing your shoes. You have to think about how your shoes are looking. Now see, I'm just drawing the shape, and then I can go object, arrange, send backward. And so, and you can mess around with it, get the right shape. Oops. So now you've added character to your drawing. And so at that point, you would have it on your figure, and then you can definitely go by and do your flats from there. And I'm noticing my little, and while you're working on, you can say, oh Lord, I done made that sleeve a little too long. So you can take that and you, I could then go into my direct selection tool and take that little piece and move it up to match. And you can say, oh, that looks a little weird like that. And you can start doing your editing to make it look like it's supposed to.
Okay.
Now, say for example, you remember that you did another collar on something else, you can then change out your collar just by clicking and adding another collar. Or you could draw another collar, you know, and have two versions with different collars or different belts or different, you know. And that's the wonderful thing about Adobe Illustrator is that at that point you can make your life easier by just having different ways to do things. So if you only did that, then you wouldn't have the option to say, you know what, I'm not filling these sleeves. I want it to be without sleeves, you know? You get it?
Mm-hmm.
So say for
Yes.
example, you wanted, oh, well, I'm thinking I want some 80s. I'm thinking I want some 80s Pat Benatar sleeves or whatever. It gives you that option. Now I could have left those sleeves there and made another layer without the sleeves. So I could have like this is one sleeve, and then I could go layers, new layer, and I'm not gonna name it right now, but I could take those. I could take these two sleeves and put them on there, and then have this sleeve, oops, have this sleeve on another layer, and then I'm gonna flip it, copy, take it over to the other side. So if I'm trying to decide which one I like, I can look and say, okay, I'm looking at it this way. Do I like this one? Or do I like that one? You see?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that would give you different options. And then you can eventually save once you get used to it, then you save these layers as part of your library, and you will have them forever. So as long as you use the same croquis, then you'll be able to manufacture different or design different outfits without redrawing a whole drawing, or change out different patterns. Like, for example, if I wanted to new texture, so if I wanted to utilize that, oops, I see this texture, and then I take the texture and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a new layer. And then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna duplicate that layer. I'm gonna lock this one down. And I'm gonna copy this. So I'm gonna hide this. I'm using the new layer here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna paste it in here. And then I'm gonna go send this to the back. Object, arrange, send to back. Oops, I think I went too far back. Object, arrange, bring forward. Okay, so I can then take this, hold down the shift key and take that. So I have both of these things highlighted. I go object, clipping mask, make, and now I have then made a pattern into my outfit. Cool trick?
Yes.
Yep.
I like that. I like that.
So that way you can then, you know, really start adding different textures and different fabrics to your drawings.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so at that point you would have saved on your hard drive, or whoever would have different things that you might have, you know, and at that point, if you wanted to make your skirt denim, you just object arrange, send it back, object arrange, bring forward. So this one is in front of that. You hold down the shift key, you have both of those highlighted. You go clipping mask, make, and then you now have
Wow.
an outfit.
Mm.
Okay, so that's the whole reason why you want different each piece, like as if you were sewing it, because that gives you the option to do a whole bunch of different things.
Okay.
Okay, and
Mm-hmm.
so gotta look at your shoes, gotta start making different just keep practicing, and
Mm-hmm.
that'll give you different ways to create your own things. And so say for example, I have all of my stuff here. I can hit command copy and then go to this girl. Oops, I shouldn't have hit that. Okay, and then go here, command view. And so notice that doesn't
That's
necessarily
not
fit
gonna
on
fit her
mine.
though, is it?
Huh?
That's not gonna fit her, is it?
Not necessarily, no.
Yeah.
But because these things are all separated, you can hit command shift and now size it down
Mm-hmm.
to make it fit on this girl. And then you just change certain things about it. You know,
Oh, okay.
you can still move this. You can still alter stuff to fit your different girl. Oh, maybe it needs to be a trumpet skirt. But you can change it to make it fit your person.
Okay.
And say, for example, you were doing the same outfit on different sizes. You can have different, you would need to be able to do this so that you can fit the same outfit, see how it looks on different sizes. You know, because things might need to be in proportion for different body shapes. I think I've talked enough. Did I drive you crazy?
You can't answer that.
Of course not. It would have been a short trip.
Oh. I am going to stop. Wait a minute. I thought I was still recording.
It
It
says
says
record.
it.
Oh,
You
it
are.
does? What? How come? Okay.